What is up, veterans, military? Hey, today's banger is going to be on asthma and how to get it service connected utilizing the Pact Act presumptive claims. Hey, if you like this type of content, y'all know what to do. Let's get into it. So first off, this is what the VA is looking for when adjudicating claims for asthma under the Pact Act. First off, they're looking to see if you have a diagnosis within 10 years of EAS or ETS, in some branches cases. Aside from that, issues and complaints. The second thing is going to be your exposure or your deployment verification. The VA, whenever you submit that claim, they're going to reach back to your respective military branch, being the Navy, Army, Marine Corps, wherever it might be. They're going to verify what area in which you deployed in and what toxins were you exposed to. And then they're going to submit that back to the VA. And depending on your medical evidence, it's either, you got a DBQ and an IMO, ready disability benefits questionnaire or independent medical opinion, already ginned up. They may not call you for a CMP exam, but if not, at the very least, they need to reach back to your respective military branch, verify that you did deploy to like Iraq, Afghanistan, various parts of Africa, and so on and so forth, airspaces as well as the seas, and verify that. On top of that, they're looking for asthma attacks, hospitalizations, you going to the ER, chronic use of an inhaler, immuno medication needed for asthma. Percentage levels for asthma is going to be 10, 30, 60, and 100%, depending on your severity, your chronic use or frequent use of the inhaler, hospitalizations, asthma attacks, as well as hospitalizations. And the way the VA tests for asthma, either, whenever you go into a CMP exam, it's going to be one of the three following tests. It's going to be the FeNO test. It's pretty much the FeNO test, FeNO. You're going to breathe into a device, and it's going to measure the levels of nitric oxide in your breath, which in turn correlates to the inflammation that's going on in your lung. The second test, I might butcher it, spirometry, pretty much the same thing. You're going to be blowing into a machine, and it's going to measure how much you're blowing into the machine as well as how much oxygen you're taking. And the last one is the peak flow test. It's going to be a handheld device that you blow in. You may have to blow in constantly over the next few weeks, depending on what medical evidence you supply to the VA and how they plan on, testing and measuring impacts your lungs and your respiratory system is taking in. And then aside from these tests, once you're already diagnosed with asthma, you may be taking additional tests such as x-rays, MRIs, other tests that can measure the level of issues going on with your lungs. Definitely during, asthma attack or anything like that, you want to get into the VA, get that medical evidence, motherfucker. Example of a veteran who is currently service-connected for bronchial asthma. They're evaluated at 30%. File service connection for sleep apnea, requiring the use of a continuous positive airway pressure device or CPAP device. They're going to get denied. Like, you need to be able to, if you're service connected for asthma and you're trying to secondary sleep apnea to it, your medical evidence needs to support that sleep apnea is being caused by asthma. So it needs to be differentiated. I've been saying differentiate a lot, because if you can't be able to distinguish from the both or show that, okay, asthma is the causation, not going to get service connected. But if it shows your asthma is causing sleep apnea and now you require the use of a CPAP machine, the VA is more than likely going to service connect you for sleep apnea at the 50% criteria. And that's about it. Average, the VA gives 10 to 30% for asthma claims. However, if you're having, real severe to, life-crippling asthma, you can get anywhere from 60 to 100%, depending on your severity level. So definitely you want to, build that medical evidence, get into the doctor regularly, and you want to take care of this. Document everything, how often you're taking in your inhaler, what's the dosage on it, what how many hospitalizations you've had, what tests have you been conducting, has there been any recommended use or recommendations for surgery, something like that. Definitely want to build up medical evidence, get that service connection, and go from there. And some possible secondary conditions to asthma once you're already service connected. Other respiratory issues such as rhinitis, sinusitis, difficult breathing issues, sleep apnea is a good one as well. So, I got a couple of videos on here talking about sinusitis, rhinitis, and sleep apnea. All great secondaries to one another as long as the medical evidence supports and you keep up with the claims process. Hey, till next time.